But I wanted to share with you like 3 key drivers that lead to sort of the fatigue of customers paying attention, that lead to longer sales cycles, that lead to less conversion. And I think that might be quite useful to you as well. And one of the first things that we need to get our head around right now is the complexity of the environment, the complexity of making decisions. Like brands, and as you just mentioned it, right? We have more competitors. Competitors, if you work in the tech space, you're not just competing with the person down the road. You're now competing with the person in Australia. You're competing with the person in Europe, in the States. You're competing on a global stage. You can start selling in the UK today because they're just waking up now. But you can start selling in the UK straight away. With each of these competitors, there's new messaging, more ads, more PDFs, more lead magnets, more cold calling. And people, like buyers, struggle to cut through and actually understand what's going to be important for them. And as Teomika just said, it's how do you lead with value, right? How do you make it less about your product and more about the people? They see 1,000 ads a day. And I think as well, especially in the B2B space, currently, like without human-to-human interaction, there's a lack of emotional connection between people, between products, between brands, and between your customers. There's a lack of emotion. And as we all know, emotion is key to making decisions. So that's driver number 1. The other driver that we find is apathy in the market space. People just don't feel connected to the messaging. And it drives that point of making it value-centric and outcome-based, the conversation, the sales messages, the marketing, to be related to your customers. And it's, yeah, Eve just said it, it's like, how do you get them to care, right? How do you get people to care? And how do you show them that you care? So from a company's perspective, how do you show your people that you care? And how will they know that you care? I think as well that as your products evolve, you have additional features, you have additional customers, your product expands, your market expands. And what I've found a lot of times, what actually happens is your market messaging and your market position doesn't actually catch on with what your product's doing. And so you have this really innovative product, but very outdated market messaging and your outdated approach, because it doesn't keep track with your product and with where you want to be positioned in the market. So apathy happens when people just don't care, when people don't feel connected, which leads to stagnation, which leads to indecision, which leads to, yes, this is where brands make it too complicated to buy. They have additional features, like they sell on features, they sell on product. And so your customers now need to make a decision of which competitor to buy, but they can't choose which door to go through. And I chose this picture because one of the doors was yellow, but in this one here, in black and white, you can't really see which door to choose. One is slightly different than the other ones. And oftentimes, indecision is because there's too much choice, there's too much overwhelm, and people can't grasp the value for them, and they can't grasp and differentiate your product or your service from all the other competitors out in the market, which then leads to long sales cycles.